So in this video, as we all know, we're going balls deep in Ichigo. So please forgive my pronunciation errors and let's get started with number 1. Originally, Tite Kubo did not intend for Ichigo to be the main protagonist of the series. At first, the role was designated for Rukia, but Kubo later changed his mind after feeling that she wasn't cut out for the part. The initial design of Ichigo also changed, where he once was illustrated to have more of a classic nerdy appearance by wearing glasses and dressing in formal attire. He also did not start out with his orange hair, instead he had dark black hair, and without his trademark glare, his eyes were a lot more softer. However, when designing Rukia, Kubo modified Ichigo's appearance to contrast with hers so he could stand out more, ultimately giving Ichigo his orange hair, trademark frown, and removing his glasses, which eventually ended up making Ichigo look like the badass ginger delinquent. Although according to Kubo, Ichigo is actually one of the most difficult characters to sketch. While illustrating one of Ichigo's scenes, Kubo found it awkward to draw him with a cheerful smile, so maybe that's why Ichigo always looks so serious. Ichigo is shown as one of the most fashionable characters in Bleach. I mean, the guy's always on point, he looks sexy and fleek. The style Ichigo portrays becomes so popular in Japan that his t-shirts have been manufactured and sold as real products in a real Tokyo store called Urahara Soten. Most of the clothes in the series are attires that Kubo wished he could have bought but couldn't ever find them in stores, or just things he liked himself and would want to wear himself. In Kubo, The Art of Bleach book, he mentioned that during the series' first chapter, Ichigo's wristwatch was actually based on one of his own watches he wore at the time. In later chapters, Ichigo's wristwatch was based on the Naoto Fukasawa W11K cell phone, and hopefully I pronounced that right, boy. Ichigo's name has many meanings. The name is comprised with the kanji ichi meaning 1 and go meaning 5, and when combined together it could be said as 15. His name plays a pun throughout the start of the series, as his name isn't the only thing that is 15. Ichigo was 15 in the beginning of the series, his birthday is also on July the 15th, the number 15 is also shown on Ichigo's bedroom door, and Ichigo also has a tendency to wear shirt patterns with the number 15 because his name is a homonym for that number. However, using certain kanji, the name can be feminine and translated into strawberry. This is a common name for female characters in other animes like Ichigo Momomiya from Tokyo Mew Mew, Ichigo Morina from Please Teacher, and Ichigo Hoshimiya from Akatsu. The first Bleach volume also plays homage to this fact, as it is titled The Death and the Strawberry, where death is respect to Rukia and strawberry in respect for Ichigo. This is also often referred within the actual series, as he is nicknamed Berry-tan by Mishiro Kuna. Another rough translation of Ichigo's name is one who protects, which resembles Ichigo quite well. In fact, this was mentioned to Ichigo at a very young age by his father, inspiring Ichigo to have the desire to protect his mother. During the beginning of the series, we are initially led to believe that Ichigo is just a simple human being who is a substitute soul reaper for the Soul Society. However, in actuality, we find out that Ichigo's species is an extremely rare composition. His father is a pure-blood soul, being a member of a noble clan, born in Soul Society with Captain Class Shinigami status, and his mother was a pure-blood Quincy. This makes Ichigo a rare breed, as he is a mixed blood Quincy and Shinigami powers, and due to this uniqueness of his mother's holification and the steps taken to stabilize her condition, Ichigo ended up possessing the inner hollow which once inhabited his mother upon his birth. So basically, Ichigo is technically a human with Shinigami, Quincy and hollow powers. Some fans suggest that Kubo intended this from the start, as stated in the last fact that the number 15 seems to be uniquely associated to Ichigo. Quincy or Quincy in Spanish means 15, and we take that translation of Ichigo's name meaning 15. It could be said then Ichigo is Quincy or Quincy, however this is all speculation. To follow up on the last fact, what we saw in the anime was never Ichigo's real Zanpakuto. Zangetsu is not really Zangetsu. Well, we all thought that the old man we saw in Ichigo's inner world was the manifestation of Ichigo's Zanpakuto spirit, and the white Ichigo represented the hollow within Ichigo. However, in the manga, it is revealed that the white Ichigo is the real Zangetsu, while the old man is the manifestation representing his Quincy powers that Ichigo inherited from his mother. It is also said that the old man's Zangetsu resembles a 1000 years younger version of Ywach, the father of the Quincy, and Tensa Zangetsu resembled the teenage version of Ywach. Old Man Zangetsu states that he originally did not wish for Ichigo to become a Shinigami and did everything within his power to suppress his true potential. However, after having went through many trials, Zangetsu comes to terms with Ichigo's resolve and growth as a Shinigami and starts to help him instead of hindering him. The old man stated that Ichigo was using only a fraction of his power, the fraction he couldn't suppress. Zangetsu has access to the Shinigami powers that inherently belong to Ichigo due to being one with Ichigo's true Zanpakuto. Zangetsu has access to Shinigami powers that inherently belong to Ichigo due to being one with Ichigo's true Zanpakuto spirit in a hollow. As a result, he can access Ichigo's Shinigami powers and even act as a substitute during his Bankai training. Despite finding the truth about his powers, Ichigo accepts both of them as Zangetsu. Throughout the series, we saw Ichigo with different forms of his Zanpakuto and Zangetsu. Except the two current Zangetsu, Ichigo showed two other Shikai forms and three Bankai forms. The first forms are the normal Shikai and Bankai forms that everyone knows. A fun fact about this: in an interview, Kubo was asked on how can Ichigo swing a sword that looks heavier than he does. Kubo responded by stating that in his words, a Zanpakuto isn't something you'd swing with your muscles. Ichigo's Zanpakuto comes from inside him, so he wouldn't find it heavy. If Ichigo tried to wield Renji's Zanpakuto, he'd find it really heavy. After Ichigo's Zangetsu's first form, we have the final Moonfang Heaven Piercer, which was used to defeat Aizen after Ichigo trained in Bankai. By using this technique, Ichigo becomes Moonfang itself. It is referred to as the final Getsuga Tansho due to the fact that, once used, Ichigo loses all his Shinigami powers. The last version seen in the anime is the Fullbring one, after being influenced by the remaining traces of Ichigo's Fullbring. Zangetsu's appearance changes where both his Shikai and Bankai are different. A fun fact about this version is an interview when Kubo was asked about the changes in designs from Ichigo's Fullbring outfit to his new one. Kubo responded saying that Ichigo's Fullbring outfit was based from the image of tokusatsu heroes that little kids would find as cool. Kubo's goal when designing the Fullbring outfit was to give the long-time Bleach readers in certain age group feel uneasy and worried, so the relieved impact when Ichigo is back in his Shinigami robes can be felt more immensely. At the same time, he designed those with an outfit that would suit Ginjo far better than Ichigo in mind. In the manga, after Ichigo's Bankai sword is broken, Zangetsu is personally reforged by Uetsu Nimaya using an actual Asauchi and unnamed Zanpakuto. In his inner world, Ichigo comes to terms with his heritage and powers, and he gains access to his true Zanpakuto, which had been suppressed all this time. In Ichigo's Shikai, his actual Zanpakuto takes the form of two separate purely black blades. One is the size of his previous sword, which resembles a kaiban knife, however the main difference being the thin empty hollow running from the base to the middle of the blade. The second blade is relatively small but resembles a trench knife more than a sword. Both blades represent a different aspect of Ichigo's powers. The larger blade represents his inner hollow and the smaller blade represents the old man, the manifestation of his Quincy powers. To activate his Bankai, Ichigo places the two blades of his Shikai side by side, causing a surge of energy to engulf him and the swords. While drawing Bleach, Kubo has hundreds of CDs that he plays. Every character has their own theme song. Ichigo's is News from the Front by Bad Religion, and you guys can check it out if you want. There are a couple of differences with Ichigo in the manga and anime. Mainly due to the censorship, the anime toned down the use of blood at times. In the case with Ichigo in the anime, when Yami kicked Ichigo and backhanded Orihime, saliva or spit was shown coming from their mouths rather than blood that's shown in the manga. Tesra Lindo Cruz beating Ichigo was significantly toned down in the anime. In the manga, after Tesra released his Zanpakuto, he stepped on and crushed Ichigo's left leg, while in the anime, Ichigo's leg wasn't shown to be stepped on. Aizen slashing Ichigo on the hill is also toned down in the anime. In the manga, when Aizen slashes Ichigo, he uses his Zanpakuto, which is visible and it leaves Ichigo's missing a large portion of his stomach, whereas in the anime, Aizen's Zanpakuto and the missing portion of Ichigo's stomach aren't visible. Other small changes are the color differences. Ichigo's manga hair color in posters is honey orange but is slightly darker in the anime. His Ryatsu is gold in the manga but in the anime it portrays it as blue. Ichigo is voiced by Masakazu Morita in the Japanese anime, while as a child he is voiced by Yuki Matsuka. Morita said that Ichigo was one of his favourite characters he has ever played, alongside Tidus from Final Fantasy X, which is one of my favourite games of all time. Johnny Yong voices him in the English dub as a teenager and Mona Marshall as an adolescent. While describing Ichigo as one of his best roles, Morita notes that voicing him can be difficult at times. Bosch has enjoyed voicing Ichigo's character due to his personal interest in the character's morals. However, he experienced difficulty voicing him in some scenes where Ichigo shouts for a long time, and I'm sure some Dragon Ball Z voice actors can relate to that. When asked in an interview if Kubo had any plans to focus on the love triangle between Ichigo, Orihime and Rukia, Kubo chose neither to confirm nor deny it, as he didn't want to focus on the romance. However, as of the last chapter of Bleach, if you guys haven't read it yet, the love triangle has been resolved, with Ichigo ending up with Orihime and Rukia ending up with Renji, which some fans may be pissed about. We also are introduced to a new member of the Kurosaki family, Kazui Kurosaki being Ichigo and Orihime's son. It is shown that Kazui possesses Shinigami powers. There are also rumors saying that Kubo might introduce a one-shot of Bleach with the daughter of Renji and Rukia, Ichikai Abarai, as the protagonist. Kazui also being there to help her, so kinda like what Naruto did with Boruto, they might do a one-shot on continue the Bleach series. Kubo likes Ichigo's popularity among readers because he looks cool. He also mentioned that as people read more about him, they will discover that he is warm and a kind-hearted person. Kubo has stated that Ichigo's greatest strength is his considerate and thoughtful nature, which I guess we can all agree on. He always thinks about others' needs. However, he also noted that it is his greatest weakness as well, because since worrying about his friends tends to put him in danger. Following over 50 volumes of the manga released, Kubo believes that Ichigo was the most developed character in the series. He said that Ichigo leads the story and introduces readers to events in it. When the Arrancar arc ended, Kubo rebooted the series, which resulted in Ichigo losing his Soul Reaper powers. In the same way Ichigo became a Soul Reaper during the series' first chapter, he starts searching for methods to recover his original powers. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. You hit the like button and share it with any of your friends that may enjoy the video. Please check out other previous works on any other anime or any of our skip videos. And I hope you enjoy the content that we're pumping out. And I hope you join me and Yusuf in our next videos.